Hey students, so here is the video as promised, walking through the last 3 problems we didn't get to do in class today. So firstly, I want you to take a moment to just look at this problem, pause the video and try to work it out, and then unpause to listen to my explanation. Okay, I see an equation that's in standard form. So all I can tell from this is I can see that there's a y-intercept right here. It's telling me that there's a y-intercept of 0, 8. So that's great, but it doesn't tell me where the vertex is or where the zeros are. I have some options here. I can complete the square to find out the vertex, or I can fully factor to figure out the zeros. But I also want to go ahead and I want to use kind of a shortcut to find the vertex that I've told you about before, where negative b over 2a is going to give me the x value of the vertex. So that's my h value right there. So, and by the way, this can be really helpful in trying to complete the square and write it in vertex form as well. So negative b over 2a, so b is negative 3. So I'm going to do positive 3 over 2 times negative 1/2. So times negative 1/2. So this is going to be 3 over negative 1, and I get negative 3. That means my h value is at negative 3. I can go ahead and find out, oops, that's positive negative 3. I can go ahead and plug that in to figure out exactly what the value of the k value of my vertex is. So negative 1/2, negative 3 squared is 9, minus 3 times negative 3, plus 8. So let's see, I get negative 9/2 is negative 4.5, plus 9 plus 8 gets me, let's see, 17 minus 4 is 13. That's positive 12.5. So it's pretty gross. Negative 3, 12.5. But let's check that out. So I'm going to go negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 12.5. I'm going to go up to 10, 11, 12, and it's a half right there. So there is my vertex. I can go ahead and use my mirror image right here. I've got 3 to the right to get to that point. So I'm going to go 3 to the left right there. And I've got another point, and then I'm going to have some zeros somewhere, but hold on. Okay, so to get any additional points, what I'm really going to want to think about is the a value and the change pattern. So normally, again, my change pattern would be plus 1, plus 3, plus 5, plus 7, and so on. I'm going to multiply that by negative 1/2. So this is minus 1/2, minus 3/2, minus 5/2, minus 7/2. And it's kind of nasty to think about the halves, but it's not undoable. So what this is saying is I'm going to subtract 1/2 for the first point. So I'm going to go right here. So I was at 12.5. Now I'm going to be at 12. Now I'm going to subtract an additional 3/2. So that's 1.5. So now I'm going to go over to the left. I'm going to go down 1 and down another half. And mirror image on that one. Then I'm going to go down 5/2. That's 2.5. And look at that. You can see that right here. Minus 1/2 and then 2 more gets me to the blue points that I already have. Now minus 7/2. So that is minus 2/2, 3 4/2, 5 6/2, 7/2 is right there. And again, I'm going to mirror image that. Keep going. I've got now minus 9/2. It's going to keep going, this pattern. So 9/2, this is, oh gosh, sorry, I just moved that screen around a little bit. 9/2 is 4.5. So 4.5 gets, gosh darn it, I keep moving the screen. I'm trying to make a point. 4/2 gets me to my 0. And sorry, 4.5, I mean, gets me to my 0. And then minus 11/2, that's 5.5. So now 5.5 down. It's a very slow growing parabola because of that half. Now 13/2, right? Keep going. So now this is 6.5 down. So 1/2 and then 6 more. And mirror image. I'm going to keep going until I'm all the way to the edge. And then negative 15/2. This is 7.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. And over 1. And again, mirror image. And I've done it. I've reached the end of my graph. So I'm going to go ahead with my black pen, and I'm just going to go ahead and connect the dots. This is the easy part. Make sure that I include my arrows there, and it's good. Okay, next problem. Okay, second practice problem. In this case, I'm given an equation, or sorry, a graph, and I'm being asked to write the equations, both in vertex form and in intercept form. I'm not asked to do standard form, but given by the time I figure out one of those, I could just go ahead and multiply them out. So for vertex form, that's going to be pretty straightforward and easy. I'm just going to identify, first of all, the vertex, which I see right there is 5, 12. So I have h equal to 5 and k equal to 12. So I have y equals, let's see, some a value that I'm going to leave space for, x minus 5, remember that's always a little bit backwards, squared plus 12. Now for that a value, that's where I need to look at what is that next point over and what is the change. So I'm going to add 1 to the x value, and the change in y is minus 3. So a equals negative 3. And that's what plugs in right there, and I'm done. I'm home free. That's it. That's my vertex form. For intercept form, I'm going to use the intercept. So now I'm going to use those zeros. So I have positive 3, so I get x minus 3, and positive 7, so I get x minus 7. And again, that exact same a value, and that's it. I'm done. I'm done. That's it. I can multiply either of those out and have standard form, but I'm done.